Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today I'm going to be streaming some more Angels. More on the message on the screen in a second. Hello, Flashgo, and thank you for the lurk. I'm afraid I don't have a command set up to do anything automatic on that, but yeah, welcome to lurk around. Yes, so this message here, basically over Christmas, it didn't affect the last stream actually, but over Christmas, Angel seems to have done a bunch of updates to some of their mods. I was a bit worried that this would be fairly significant what's posted on here, but it's not actually that bad because basically what they've done is they've taken two like recipe strands. So there was like an oil strand and a gas strand because these are both the cracking recipes, and they've brought them together. So basically, cracking is now does both oil and gas, so that's not really that much of a change. And the sodium processing thing, I read it, I didn't quite understand what the change was, but it doesn't appear to have affected any of our machines. I'll just go and I'll check again, but I think we're okay basically. So there have been some other updates. Can't hear that at all. Is the game audio coming through? Yeah, that's okay. That's a bit quiet then. Yeah, I could probably do with a little boost, couldn't it? Let's maybe take that to 75. Yeah, it seems a little better. Yes, so we'll have a quick look on the map and see, just make sure. So we've got sulfur running here, and I know this is still working because I checked that when I loaded it up before, and these guys are still running. And then, see, those are still running, they've got recipes. And then there's sulfur up here as well, isn't there? And that's all still chugging away, so that all seems fine. And then we've got sulfur down here. Again, this has still got recipes. And what about this? Yeah, we've got sulfur there. That looks like the acid's okay. So, and well, let's just have a look anyway, but the copper will be the same because that side of it's not really different. Yeah, these have all still got recipes, so it looks like we're okay. Isn't there another one? Oh, no. I'm thinking of the fact that the trains drop it off. Yes, so I think we're okay on the changes that have happened. This... yeah, I spotted this in the thing. I think there might have been some generating change, as it were. I don't know what's happened here, basically, because we suddenly got some biters in. I mean, it could just have been that I've plopped it down on top of them, but I say I don't know if that was part of it or, you know, the change that happened. Or it's something I did that was stupid. I mean, both are very, very real opportunity, very realistic options. So I need to make... Oh no, I have to make that a mud, do I? Oh, right, okay. I have not played this since we last streamed, so all of these recipes are either because of the change, what we've got here, so we've got, or because of things I've unlocked last time. I'm going to go through them. Yeah, I've been doing, you know, personal equipment ones and military ones, so I'm not surprised about those. We have got the logistics system on the go, but I just need to look and see if there's anything I can spot that might be something that's a blocker. So we've got, as in, you know, because of the recipe change. Oh, I wonder if that's new. Maybe that's why the aliens are respawned, because he's introduced, or don't know it's he, but they've introduced alien artifacts. I was just saying on the video I did that I found the whole alien artifacts mechanic annoying. It could be that I'd missed that, and that was just something I hadn't realised, but they clearly must be coming from aliens, surely. So perhaps that's why we've got aliens that have returned, because they've kind of been respawned. But there were some that were down here, weren't there? So maybe it's just these guys and I didn't spot them. I like the bots are just patiently waiting for the buyers to get them. We'll go and wipe them out so that they can finish that. And this also presumably will give us, if there are no alien artifacts, we will suddenly get some. So let's tweak around. But the overall goal for today is basically to get this science, properly running. And the blocker, I believe, is oil and gas, basically. So the thing we have very, very little of. Let's sneak around there. Is oil and gas. So I do know of a couple of patches. So I've been honest, mostly it'll involve trains and setting stuff up with trains. Can I sneak through anywhere on the rock there? There's a little bit of a gap there, maybe. Through there? No. That might be too small. At some point I will set up things like notifications and stuff. Exclamation points. Oh yeah. Right, so go. Which is the quickest way? I guess around the top. I'll get a bit fiddly with all the boilers and stuff. Squeeze through there. The biters are on passive, by the way, so that's why they're just sat there. Right, now. I also thought I'd put the turrets on. Because we do have laser turrets now. I think I've got one. Yeah, I got one. So we could sort of pop that one in. As like a boost as well. Because they're actually fairly evolved, I think. Yeah, you're in the way. Let's do that. And then... that on there in case... Yeah, so we've suddenly got alien artifacts, haven't we? Well, that was pointless, that. That laser. Yeah, okay. They don't actually look like the old ones. I don't know if that's because of the artisanal mod. Yeah, and they're in the actual... I'm going to have to get rid of one of those, aren't I? Biters as well. That's going to be... annoying. I'm wondering about turning it off, basically, because the bioprocessing bit is something I've not really touched in any great depth. Reading it through, it looked quite annoying, like most of these bio ones. So if I now have to mess around with alien artifacts, do I want to do that? It's funny how that's been put in, because that's in Bob's as well, the whole Bob's thing. It was not in there as well. Oops. Oh. You know, in the new expansion, I was saying on my video, I did predictions well, that I think we're going to get the ability to fly the space platforms around, not just, sit in them while they follow a preordained route. I hope space is as empty as you'd expect, because I'm going to crash by space platforms like you wouldn't believe. And if they introduce weight mechanics and there's like momentum and that sort of thing, then it could be quite disastrous. Right, so let's just have a look here, because the other thing I was looking at is that this stone is just like non-existent, isn't it? We've got the bricks. Where did we end up with? Here it is. So is there how much stone has it got in it? Not very much at all. I imagine it probably doesn't stack us up. Excuse me. Stack us high, I guess, is one thing. 200. Oh, no, it's the same. Okay. Because it's more demanding of stone than it is stone brick, really, because we've got the I wonder if not got one. If I just make this a regular splitter, because at the moment I'm forcing it all down into stone brick. So it's favouring stone brick rather than just stone. So if I turn that priority off, where's that now? Like that. So it'll be a bit more even between the two. I mean, this is obviously not fully using it anyway, but as you can see, it's now eating it down rather than trying to keep it full. But yeah, the other sort of problem here is that there's not actually as much of that stone stuff now that we've switched over to the better recipes, I think. Oh, actually, no, that was a basic recipe, wasn't it? That's not a... I don't think I've improved... we've not done a better version of that at all yet. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's all well and good. So, hopefully we'll get a little bit more stone coming in. We're not actually making purple science. Why not? Because you don't have these. Red circuits. And I think that's basically the issue we need to solve. Because there is absolutely no plastic. And I mean no plastic whatsoever. And there is no plastic whatsoever. Because where we're meant to be making plastic is a pathetic little dribble. And that one is using whatever's coming in there, which is this gas refinery. And that, you see that tiny, tiny little trickle of the green stuff. It's coming out of there. And we have no raw gas at all, basically. And raw gas comes out of both oil products. I'm just trying to see if there's any blockers, like one of the pipes are full. There are not. Which, yeah, means we just don't have enough oil and gas coming in. Okay. One of the things we could do to help that is have a look and see if we've got any bacons. We don't have bacons. Okay. So if we had bacons on the list, we'd have to build them, of course. Which we're not got anything set to do that. We need the logistic system in order that I can do a mall type, bot-based mall type thing. A bit easier. I could use the big loggy chests, but I'd rather use the smaller ones and make it a bit more compact. Sodium appears to have undergone overhaul altogether. Wait. No, I haven't undocked sodium at all, have I? Huh. I think that's the change recipe. And I guess the WOD workaround is that it lets you keep the next ones. Oh, cracky. Hello, bit of Noculati. Welcome to chat. Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I want you to offer... Oh, no, okay. Well, since I had a spammer, or a bot, or whatever it is, so we want to... ban you. There we go. And... Can I just delete that message? There we go. I mean, if you were a human doing that, then then maybe you can peel it or whatever. But oh yes, and they added this as well. I saw this in the notes. Thorvian bicycle, an early prototype vehicle used for faster transportation. So yeah, I think I've probably lost some of I've lost some of the researches, basically the early ones. I did wonder when it showed some red ones whether that was the case. How would I tell what else I've lost? Maybe that was a... No, that's... Because it's where they've got dependencies, basically, isn't it? It lets you keep the dependencies. I wonder if all mods do that, or that's just something special that's been done here. So things that are dependent on this, basically, I've unlocked already, and it's let me keep them. And that's why it's still got the recipes. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Efficiency module 2 is not going to lock anything. With steam cracking is that one there, isn't it? That doesn't unlock anything. I'm just going to check if it's got green ones that are later on. Then it must be another one that's been changed. So it's this gas steam cracking thing. As I was saying, basically that's just bringing two. There was an oil one and a gas one, and they're now just one. These don't appear to have any particular dependencies or anything like that. Blue algae, that's the cracking one still. I think I've gone backwards there, haven't I? I thought I'd done the tank. I don't think we need to bother, but... fake transmission. Oh, it's what... Yeah, we're researching that. Cool. Got automation 2. So quite... I mean, if this were a vanilla game, we would be quite far along, but... Of course, there's all sorts of parts to these mods that I haven't really even touched. That's that one. Now, did I do any of these? No, you see, I've not really done much with the bio. It may become vital, I guess, but I have a feeling I may just completely ignore it. Right. So, I guess it's gone Bob style with this whole piercing stuff and acidic and all that sort of stuff. Not sure about that. Cool. Okay, so I don't think I've lost any other intermediate type researches, but we do know we've got gas here, for example. We could just have a swing round, in the car and see if there's anything over there. So if I start tagging some of these, so we go gas, and then we've got, wasn't there one? Oh no, it was the thermal water, which I don't know what that's for. Because we've got oil there. So, where's that train gone? Oh, it's on its way. Okay, cool. Because this recipe, I think it kind of favours crude oil, basically, I think is one of the things. So not actually, and it's more the gas, which you'd expect, you wouldn't expect. So there's oil there. Yeah, you wouldn't expect an oil recipe to sort of favour gas production. Got any others? Gas here. Righty. Anything else been revealed there? No, we've got some gas there. Good. Bit of oil there. thermal water, isn't it? It's not oil on that. Okay, cool. So, I guess let's start with that one, really. And to say, we can then swing round. Really need to focus on, the gas rather than the oil. I guess that one's probably the next one to tackle because it is, connected to the same system, essentially. And would be quite easy to hook up, I think. And we've done that one, haven't we? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so what do we need in order to do that? I guess loads of pipes, tanks. We're not actually manufacturing. What should we call it? Fluid wagons. So now, what scale are these on? Where's the drop-offs? There we are. So we've got... Oh, that's going to make it tricky, isn't it? Because I'm not sure a train will fit in there. And we don't have a stacker. Might have to do some reworking of that line so that I can then put kind of a stacker in. Oh, wait. It's left-hand drive, so it'll be on that side, wouldn't it? Oh, so we might be able to get one in there. Again, but might be worth reconfiguring that train, perhaps, so it goes down there. We'll deal with that later. So we needed... We were going to add... Was there 2 more gas? Yeah, there were 2 more gas that were in nice easy reach, weren't there? In fact... Let's aim to do them all, so we'll aim to do all of those. Where is the car? Up the top. Had quite an interesting Friday Facts this week. They've been doing quite a few more technical ones, which is always more what it kind of used to be back in the day. But a lot of them would end up a bit technical. It's interesting, we've not had any kind of big, expansion reveals. I thought we might get one coming into the new year. I thought they'd probably do one to... It's a bit of a slow news cycle, so I thought they might have planned one out. But no. Let's see. I can get rid of crushed stone as well. We want, if we're getting 3 new trains, we want... Where are the... There they are. We want 6 of these, really. Alright, yeah, 6 of those. We're going to want lots of railway track, aren't we? Excuse me. So we put that in there. Don't really need belts, but might as well just leave them in. I think we'll put the actual doobies away. We're then going to need tanks. I'm in the logistics area at the moment, so if I'm a little bit careful, we can stop annoying the bots too much. Right, I guess I should take some ammo as well, because there's certainly at least 1 nest of biters to take out. Grab that. Let's just top up some of the basics as well. Do I need that many? Not really. Don't need all that copper. Don't really need filter inserters. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. There's also a reveal. A while back there was a screen capture that showed a strange T-like symbol. And wasn't clear what it was, you know, because it wasn't talked about in the actual Friday Facts itself. And it turns out it's part of a whole family of symbols, which are going to sit in the logistics network. Oh, does this not have symbols? Oh no, they'd be in the circuit network, not the logistics network. Yeah, I would need one with a wire on it. I've got one with a wire on it somewhere. Yeah, they'll sit in the... Let's just put a wire on somewhere. Sit in the... circuit network, basically in here. So there's going to be a new family of symbols that are symbols, basically. A new family of icons that are symbols. And they look like they're really designed to be train representations of train track types. So, you know, where you've got a T-junction, it lets you just do a picture of a T. And where you've got a crossroads, picture of a cross, and diagonal track, and straight track, and a corner, and all that sort of thing. So you can just use them to very simply know, right, this is my straight track, this is my, you know, roundabout, and that sort of thing. Which is a really nice little quality of life thing, I think. Here we go. These are the tanks. Look at these. Right, so we've got tanks now. Let's go and get some pipes. I guess we need another train station as well. We're going to do 3. We do have quite a lot of signals, but we might as well get some more. We'll need lots more of them. Make sure we've got 100. And might as well grab some more lights, because we have lots of lights on it. How many radars have I got? 13, okay. Grenades. I've got move tree. Oh, I've got 100 grenades on me. Okay, more track. Where are the... Oh, there we go. There's the pipes. There's the pipes. Have we got pumps? I think, yeah, I got loads of pumps. Got rail. We'll put the rail in the car and stock up again. But what would we need? We would need pumps, we would need trains, we would need pipes. Pump jacks. We're going to need lots of pump jacks. Okay, let's just take a stack. They must be up here somewhere. Yeah, oh, there we go. There's the pump jacks. 20 will probably be enough, but we could always probably handcraft a few. And signals. I was going to make sure I had lots of signals, wasn't I? And where do they live? I think they're over in the other factory. Yes, there we go. Let's make sure we got 450, but... This is the bit. So this is one of the things. Logistics groups are going to be a massive help here, because you'll be able to... I'm sort of hoping, like a quality of life update we'll get, is the ability to basically save logistics groups. And train groups and things like that, because it looks like a really awesome new feature. Because the idea would be that you can just set up a group for your player character, for the engineer, and switch between groups basically. So if you want loads of like this fluid building stuff, then you can have a logistics group that orders those up, basically, for you. There's actually quite a lot of biters here, aren't there? Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna try and use the laser. Our one solitary little laser. We're gonna dash out here and find the point where it will connect. So actually then I'm going to go back. Pull that to there. Yeah. So if I can put one in. So the idea would be I'll plop that on and then dash up with the gun turrets. Because they will almost inevitably obliterate my laser turret instantly. Yeah, let's find how to connect this to. Over that way, I guess. Yes, and I say, my hope is that you'll kind of be able to set the logistics group up and then basically be able to go, right, I want to save that. That's my logistic. That's how I do logistics groups. You know, I could save that. So a bit like blueprinting, but for the logistics groups. Because, as I say, it seems like such a powerful feature that, or convenient feature that I'll be using it a lot. So if I'm doing lots of, you know, saves and different mods and all that sort of stuff. Alright, didn't get that. What happened there? What happened was I accidentally put the ammo on. I replaced it with a pipe, a power pump. Because I'm an idiot. They probably wouldn't have blown it up if I hadn't been an idiot. Oh. Can I make another one? Oh, I can't make any. I'm in the wrong menu. I'm in the wrong menu. There we go. Let's make two of them. I made a mess of that, didn't I? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to have alien artifacts in it. As well. Yeah, not necessarily a fan of that. Let's put them on auto trash though. Especially since it's the same thing. It's basically just, you know. I don't want them. Get rid of them, please. Just coloured versions of the same thing. Right. What are we going to do? So we're going to make a station. Let's put those on. Are there only 3? Yes. Right. And then pick all this rubbish up. In fact, actually, let's just do it like that. Boshty boshty bosh. Oh. And then we need to kind of work out, because I've gone down this bit, but really I should have extended that, shouldn't I? Now, am I going to simply go straight across there like that? Doesn't really allow any expansion, does it? Oh, it's fine. Am I going to expand that? Probably not. So, let's just keep going straight with that. Somewhere there. And then we'll go and sort of pick these Power piles up. I wonder if people do use those, you know, buy followers things. Actually, it probably does, because one of the things that Twitch does is put people with lots of followers at the top, but yeah, they're the sort of usually the most recommended. But you'd have thought they'd have had something that, you know, work out if it's a load of bots. It seems like it's probably a waste of time and money. Right. So as per, I'll hand lay in the actual track. Alright, because I forgot to get it out of the train. And that's not a lot of space. Let's put some of this pipe in there. I've done the researches for this hasn't changed, has it? That's not gone up. Why has that not gone up? Or has it and it's just very slow? No, it hasn't. And is that because of the oil problem? Must be. Because it would need blue circuits for one thing. It would also need low density structures, which is plastic. Okay, so it needs a lot of plastic and it's not got any. Right. We better fix it then, hadn't we? I'm just wondering, you see, because if it's not changed, why don't I get rid of these two? And then we'll add them back in. What was the other? Bacons, wasn't it? And we'll do the red science and green science instead. Thorvin bicycles. The video did quite well. I put up the wild speculation video, although what I put in it wasn't as wild as all that really. But I have had some madder ideas, but I don't know. I could always do a second video, I guess. Huh. Somebody's put some trees in. Yeah, the biggest problem was that I was sort of, because it's like semi-scripted. I put some notes together basically, because I have noticed when I'm doing the Friday Facts read-throughs, I have like this sing-song voice for when I'm doing for reading. It's something I think I've developed for work. It's sort of a because I tend to do a fair amount of presentations at work, and there's a thing where it's part of the whole death by PowerPoint thing, where you end up people talking, you know, they'll do a script, they'll write it out, and then they'll talk in a very monotone voice, and I have quite a monotone voice anyway. Oh, that was quick. So yeah, I've sort of developed this way of speaking that's a bit more dynamic for it. But I just now slip into it, you know, when I'm reading, and so it's very clear what's read and what's, you know, just speaking off the cuff. Right, so lots to put these in. So yeah, I didn't really want that approach for the actual video. Well, some bits you can tell I was reading my notes basically. But the big issue with it, so I probably would have actually done it as a fully scripted video. But the big issue was the time it took. It took me about 2 days to put all the notes together and edited them around. And I say I sort of realised it was. I had a whole section on mechanics, you know, game mechanics, I realised I could sort of chop some of those into the actual other sections, and then I would have 4 sections rather than 5, and it would be a lot tighter. Oh, I guess these have been assigned to the logistics network. Yep, so again... No, you're not. Guess the others are, though. Bit weird. Unless I've run out of... No, I'm not running out of B-parts. Maybe they can't actually access them? That's a bit weird. I thought they were in a logistics chest then. Yes, so, you know, I probably would have gone a bit more, almost high production value on it, but... I realised that... Oh, it was 30 pages, basically. The notes were 30 pages long. Now, that's because they got page breaks in it, so partly, but 30 pages is a lot. Like, a lot. So, we have some pipe here. I wonder if I could fit around it. So, if that was coming up there... not really. And that would overlap with the... So it really needs to be this one, you see, I think. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 30 pages is a lot. Oh. It's not on the network, is it? And, I realised that would take a long time to even just read through as a script rather than even setting aside editing it and that. And it did indeed take an entire day to read through. I'll have to see how big that is. I think it was about 2.5 days or so of total time, spread over about 4 days of editing it. Doing, all the upload and the thumbnails and stuff. So it's a fairly major thing, even though it's, kind of thrown together. It makes you realise when you do YouTube and this as well, how much effort actually goes into it. I mean, let's be frank, you can get your webs out and get hundreds of viewers if you've got, that particular appeal. But, the kind of people who do it, do like gameplay and stuff. And, proper videos, scripted videos, all that sort of stuff. It's a huge amount of effort. My only real disappointment with it, honestly, is basically the... Now, where would the actual station go? Are we in the right zone anyway? Because it's actually shorter, isn't it? But I could just plop it at the end. So put it there. Oh, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, the disappointment was that I set up the camera so that I could do my front on bit, and I read that those were scripted and read, sort of intro and outro, and the camera was out of focus, but it looked fine when I was recording it. I think it might have just been too close to my big moony head. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the tanks, I guess. No, I need the railway bits. Which are where? Yeah, so that the intro and outro is slightly out of focus, which I don't know. I imagine a few people have clicked on it as you would and thought, what the heck is this rubbish? Right. I picked them up and I didn't want all of them. All I want is 2. And I'm just doing them to space it out. Make sure I don't get the wrong things aligned. Because there should be fuel on the other end. Yes, there's fuel on the other end. Okay. But we need to do a stacker, don't we? Right, so I wonder if I can just copy the other one. How did I do it? On here. Yeah, I probably can actually. So just copy that. And then pop it there. Yeah, that works. And then I guess... Does that connect if I... Yeah. Like that. Put you there. Maybe have... like that. Underground so I can put a power pole in the middle. And then, oh, I didn't grab modules, did I? We'll have enough. We'll have enough. There's not actually that many there on the patch. Right, so, oh, no, don't fill it up. Or could you? Have I got any coal on me? No. I have not got coal on me, so these trains wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Okay, right. Let us find the car. This needs to be... Wait, what am I actually loading in? Wait, because this is gas, isn't it? Not... I don't have a station for dropping off gas. No, I don't. Ah! Whoops. Huh. Oh, hello, Solvan. Imagine having to manually set the name of the station. Yeah, that there's one of those Friday facts this week that I don't know, when it felt more like a sort of a lot of quality of life features are sort of a new player is going to or use them and sort of not realise that it used to be horrible. That felt more like a feature for all of us more experienced players who, having done these things for hundreds and hundreds of times, and kind of just got used to it. When we get that new feature, we'll be like, oh my god, how did I even, do this before? Where the heck are we going to drop oil off? Because this is an absolute spaghetti nightmare. If I go down this side, I'll have to fit round all these blooming obstructions, aren't I? Well, I think the only real option is to put the actual station sort of there, blow up some cliffs, and have it sort of come across here. I mean, it makes this like nasty, but I guess I could change the branching maybe? Or maybe I'll just branch off of there. I mean, we're in the territory where we're so far away from the drop-offs that I'm not going to cause any traffic jams, really. But yeah, if I put a T-junction in there, would that work? No, that would have to be a T, wouldn't it? I think they both need to be a T. Actually, it'd be better if I had... If this goes straight down, and then that's a branch off, and then we go down there somewhere. Ha! I'd just been in my head. This was a gas one, and it's oil. Bum. Okay. Largest rod effects was wild. Basically, Govrex noticed he built the same thing many times and just went for it. It's one of the amazing things about Factorio, really, is that in a sense the devs play their game, if you see what I mean, and it's sort of, I guess, I never know quite how to express it, because it's like I say, it's an artifact of the fact that devs play the game, but in a they do it for pleasure way rather than, you know, I'm sure a lot of developers, you know, enjoy playing their own games, as it were. But it's always well, it certainly feels slightly different with Factorio, where what am I thinking of doing here? Put it on there, maybe? Yeah, let's put a branch on there. You know, they play it for fun, effectively. Not just because it's, you know, it's their job and, you know, they're sick to death of it and that sort of thing. And therefore, and this is the other luxury of it being is that it's a, you know, a massive success. Because a lot of devs, you know, wouldn't have the money, basically, to say, right, well, let's sit down and figure out a completely new feature that means, as you say, I don't have to keep copying and, you know, left click, right click, copy and paste the exact same, you know, thing for all of my trains. Even though the real answer for that one, and I know it's just an example, the real answer for that one is for him to stop using filter inserters. But instead, it's, you know, an entire brand new feature for the game. So there you go. Because it isn't, you know, there's no need to use filter inserters. I tried not to say that sort of thing on the actual thing, but because, you know, people can play the game any way they want, sort of thing. But it was a bit like, why are you using? And it's not even using stack filter inserters. You're using proper filter inserters. Yeah. You're playing your own game wrong, you know. But yeah. I don't know how it plays with logistic trips. Oh yeah, I was saying that, I don't know if you caught that earlier on, but I think that's going to be such a game changer. What I really want with logistic trips, if you did miss it, was that this thing of, you know, they feel like it's going to be such a hugely, you know, useful feature. It's a bit like, I've tried to be a lot more open-minded with it, because when the picker tool was introduced, I was like, well, what's the point of that? You know, why would I want to bother with that? And then now, it's basically the entire way I play the game. You know, I almost don't use anything else a lot of the time. It's like, well, like this hotbar. I mean, my hotbars are basically redundant now. Because I just use the picker tool, you know. And it's that sort of thing. I think that's going to change kind of how I play, basically. Because there's no, and it's such a sort of a difficult to explain quality of life, because it is like, you know, like this. I've not actually set up my logistics trash and all that sort of stuff because I'm lazy, basically. And what I want, the thing I want really, is the ability to save them, basically. So if I can have my logistics groups, either, you know, be part of my save file or like a blueprint, basically, so you can copy them over. Yeah, so I can just fill that in, basically. Then that would be such a massive improvement. If I've got to set them up every time I play, then although it's, you know, I'm going to do it because it feels like it's so useful. But as I say, you know, I've not even set up my logistics trash because I'm fundamentally very lazy. So yeah, I guess there's also an element you get used to these things, don't you? Of like, well, this is how I always set it up, and I'll just do that, rattle through it. But yeah, I would quite like the ability to save them. And train groups as well, you know. That whole feature, I think that's going to be one where it takes, you know, a long time to really work out what some of the best ways of using it are. Because the other thing, I mean, I sort of paused, I chopped a load of it out actually in my read through, but the thing I didn't quite, maybe it was in the original posts about it, but it felt like it was new, was that combinators are going to be able to operate in groups as well. Or at least that's what it seemed to be showing, that a single constant combinator, and does this apply to all logistics, will be able to output different groups basically. And that's what it seemed to be showing, but it felt like that was new, and I hadn't understood. Understood that, because if you can have a single combinator and set it to work in 10 groups, then you just need a single combinator, don't you? Because you can just hook that up to your entire factory, and you can just control your entire factory with a single combinator. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't, sort of thing. Probably a bit more complicated than that, but it seemed to be what it could be. Oh, hello, Bacon Magician. How you doing? Finally arrive at one of your actual streams. Oh yeah, first time chatter. I thought you. I mean, obviously, seeing your comments on YouTube. Thank you very much for those. It's good to, fun to chat with someone who's equally kind of obsessive. But a little sad. We've got 5 Friday facts without any expansion news. I know they're working hard on it. I want it to get it into a final state before showing it. Yeah, I mentioned. I say if you're not seeing the live streams, but I mentioned on the last one. I think we're getting a delay. I mean, they didn't categorically state it would be, within the year and stuff. That was like a basic estimate. Am I going to be able to fit these in? I think I am. Yeah. But it feels like, I think systems-wise, well, I suppose you've also got things like, Covrix just suddenly turns around and adds a completely new feature to the game. So there's still room for that happening. But it feels like the art is a bit behind. I'm not sure I didn't see something on one of the things that they're kind of trying to recruit for more artists. Because I was a bit surprised when we were seeing the space logistics thing and the space platforms. It was like, the commentary in the actual text was basically, this is, placeholder art and stuff like that. And if you think how far off it is, I mean, it could be that that's literally the only placeholder art left. Everything else is done. I don't think that's the case. So I think we might get to a stage where basically it's almost feature complete, but they're still chunking through the artwork. I'm starving desperate for someone who wants to talk about Factorio. Oops. I've tried and failed to indoctrinate all my friends about this stupid game. Definitely join the Factorio Discord. Been thinking about it. I would do, I mean, if you're... So, I would recommend that as well. And I don't know if you use Reddit as well. The Reddit community is really good. They're not chatty sort of thing, I wouldn't say. They tend to be more... coming back to that, I'm not actually a very good user of like social media and stuff like that. I kind of force myself on Twitter a bit because you kind of have to, but post about the blog, things. But I'm more of a forum user. I prefer, a bit like we've been chatting in the YouTube comments, where it's like you can write an essay basically as a reply, rather than Discord's a bit more sort of like a proper chat system really, and I'm not very good at that type of thing. It's like at work, I hate Teams and stuff like that because it's like having a conversation across hours, and I just don't really It's not my preferred community. I'm much more of a, well, you've seen in the videos where I'll sit there and talk for hours type of thing. I already knew that we're 90% to get a delay. It's where we are after all, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I have a Discord technically, but it's actually set up by somebody who used to be a mod here. But I just don't. It's not. I just don't like that form of communication where it's a bit more, single line posts and that sort of thing. Well, I'm not saying I don't like it. I read it. I just don't do it, as it were. No, they've continued feature little things into oblivion. Probably are waiting for art. Yeah, so I think that's probably one of the big bottlenecks. Because it sounds like, well, I mean, it's the thing with all games, isn't it? It's like, you can make any game have amazing features, and if it's an RPG and you're putting in a load of combat stuff, you can do the numbers and just easily iterate on that. You can balance it and what have you just by crunching the numbers basically. But the art, if you add in a new sword or something, the amount of art that's required for that is like enormous, because you've got the actual thing itself and all the animations and the whole characters holding it and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if you just add it as an entity as a sword, hit power 4, it's easy sort of thing, or relatively easy. So yeah, I think the art is going to be the bottleneck. But I'm pretty sure I saw a thing that they were recruiting. Now, am I going to weave that round? Or am I going to just sort of landfill across? How much landfill have I got? 128. This is where I need the super force build. I could just stick it in. Right. Let's just go across then. And we'll sort of put the drop-off station kind of here, best we can. Right. Yeah, feature little things in our way for it. So, yeah, I mean, my anticipation is we will probably get, they sort of did it for 1.0 where, and this isn't an uncommon thing, is it? Where, after a couple of months, there's a big patch where they add a load of new stuff, and because it just wasn't ready in time, and they just said, right, well, let's ship it and we'll add it later. So I think that's almost inevitable. I don't know, it's a controversial thing to say, but I honestly wouldn't mind paying for, let's not call them microtransactions, but things like skins and stuff like that. It'd be cool to be able to have a different looking engineer, for example. I mean, an official one, obviously, I'm sure. In fact, can you do that with a mod? I don't think I've ever seen a mod that replaces the engineer. I'm sure there is one. The heck are me grenades? Yeah, if they want to do skins or anything like that, then I would not be averse to getting them. Like I say, I mean, when you've got thousands of hours in the game, it kind of feels like you're stealing from them, really. They've been quite about little details like how they will actually travel to other planets go. Will it be instant? What happens if a platform dies in space? Do we respawn on Nalvis? I think they're still figuring that out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be transit time, I think. And it'll be like sitting on a train, I think, mostly. So my hope is that we do get a free roam, basically. And you'll have seen in the video about my thought that we'll get to go to an asteroid field, and that's we'll need to use free roam basically to kind of drive round basically in the first instance. Just because I think in reality they're pretty much just going to be trains in space. And you can, you know... that's all the landfill I've got. Okay. That's annoying. How much of this could I actually put in? Because I'm not sure I'm making landfill. So that was about there, wasn't it? So then the curve would probably be there-ish. And then the actual station on the end. I'll have to chop it down. But it would fit in there, I think. Okay. So I need loads of landfill, which I don't think I'm making. We will have to see. Let's order some up. Where does landfill live in Angels? So, if we just whack that up high. Okay. I'm personally quite wary about the 2.0 expansion quality. Do you mean quality as in... You're getting way ahead of me. I have to read these through. Travel time we don't know. If you die, you respawn on the last planet you've been on. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely option. I think you are... So, I think you'll differ from trains in that because you'll be dumped out in space, I think they'll take the destruction of the, you know, the hub thing as being destruction of the entire platform and you. I think basically, if that gets destroyed, you know, I think you'll be able to lose bits of your platform, you know, so bits attached to it and sections of your platform. But if the hub thing in the middle gets gets destroyed, then both it'll just blow up and you'll die with it. Because otherwise you'd have to go and recover platforms, and that might all get a bit messy. I mean, it could work like that, but maybe it won't. But yeah, I think then you'll just respawn on the last planet you're on. Maybe. That could be problematic though, couldn't it? Because if you've just gone there, you know, you've discovered actually I need a load more belt, and you've not built anything on the old planet. On the new planet, you mess up when you're travelling back and you blow yourself up. It respawns you back on the new planet, and suddenly you've got no way of getting home. Because I suppose with remote view you could try and get it to send you a new platform, maybe. But basically, yeah, I'm not making landfill. What's it actually made out of this? Because it's not made out of just regular rock anymore, is it now? Oh, it is stone. Ha! I thought there was... Isn't there a way of making it out of metal? Oh! Oh! Bits as well, thank you very much. I really enjoy Photo Effects coverage. I don't actually have the notifications thing up properly. Because nobody tends to do that stuff. It's very, very much appreciated. I would say, thank you very much. My preference, I have like a charity thing. So if you did want, I mean, I know you probably got bits because you do other things and that sort of thing. I kind of, my job is sufficiently well paid. I don't sort of need the money. But I am very much appreciative. But I usually tend to ask people if they're going to, do some of that to donate to the charity and just chuck some money that way. But thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Because what I do, I mean, it's been a long time to have it because people don't. As I tend to say that so people don't do it, but I tend to then donate it to the charity anyway. So I say because I'm sort of my job is sufficiently well paid that I don't need it. But I say that's not a. I always feel guilty when I say that, but it's like it's just because I say this is just fun for me. Basically, I just love doing this. Subscribing so I can help boost your content. That's very much appreciated. As I say, the biggest thing you can do is that basically. So is comment on the YouTube videos and like them and that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Very much thoughtful, tinkery people who play Factorio, making big in-depth posts is more our style. Yeah, saying Reddit, I find Reddit's quite like that as well. The community's very friendly on Factorio Reddit. It tends to be a sort of philosophy of, or like an approach of, what do you call it? Like, an example is like helping noobs, basically. So helping new players. You can make it out of mud. Have I not got that recipe then? Oh, I hate these recipe searches. Craft. So have I not got that recipe? Washing 2? Oh, I guess maybe because it's in a washing machine it wouldn't let me do it? Let's have a look on the tick. What would it be under washing? Yeah, I've got washing 2. So that gives me mud. Have I not got that over here then? So I'd rather not steal off all of this stone, basically. One of the main criticisms I heard of Factorio is that the graphical fidelity isn't great. It's not untrue. A very function over form player. Just a very solid game at its base. I just went new stuff. The artist territory, if not very tertiary, if not very appreciated. Yeah, I would say I think the style of it is very, because it's dark and dingy and sort of because it's diesel punk aesthetic sort of thing. It's not very sort of appealing. But it's still a pretty game. Doing good 2D is not easy. Yeah, I mean I love it. I mean I particularly love. I say I think it's the aesthetic rather than the actual art itself. I would say this is obviously this artisanal mod pack, but particularly the animations and the thing. And it's almost, I always feel it's a shame that you basically have to play with the old Ton. And these ones aren't too bad because it's like the thing. But even this, let's just pick up science packs. This animation is really amazing. And it's very like that Heath Robinson thing of, because of what it is, the engineer, it sort of doesn't make sense. But and in fact, I don't know if you've ever noticed in the animation, these gear wheels actually clash. They're both going in the same direction, but I'm not sure they're meant to be connected. But yeah, there are little things that are technically wrong. But yeah, I mean the animations on a lot of the stuff is just beautiful, and you sort of end up with this, where it just sticks it over the top, and it's like, it's gone. Skins and mods, no knows. All nervous because we're trying to shake up gameplay. But it's not always going to be for everyone. Quality was very divisive. Some people really hate cliffs, and Volcanis is like a ton of cliffs. It was a very trusty developer. I respect their players a lot. Mostly, I trust they'll have a good product. Yeah, I think, respect is probably the word, but not beholden to us. They have done things that, have proven controversial in the past and kind of then stuck to their guns, which, they should be really. It's their game. They should develop what they want. 30 of those, including one made by Factorio's made 3 device. Oh, right. Is that when you're saying that the skins for the player? I guess it's just because it never occurred to me and I never searched for them. The problem is that by far the largest release since the initial release. I was talking about it with a friend. Played $30 for a Factorio style expansion, just a bunch of new skins, alien biomes kind of thing. There's space there. Yeah, again, I'd love to. Having Factorio is good, but it's not. You could do so much more if it was developed in engine. But they're going to go so far. They plan to price out $30. Hopefully, it will help them rein in their perfectionist instincts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure it's not underpriced. If I'm honest, from what we've seen, there just seems to be so much in it. I need to put this mud up, don't I? Because this was mud, I think, wasn't it? Heavy mud water. Light mud water. Concentrated mud water. Ah, here you go. Chest full of mud. That was obviously going to convert to landfill, but I didn't. So, what am I? There then. So, do that. Wait. Maybe the problem is you don't use a. Ah, you mustn't use... was I being a complete biff? Crafting... No, it says it's made in an assembler. Why won't it let me do that then? Oh, there it is. What? I'm going mad. I'm going mad, I'm telling you. I intend, say, to have as much content as in Vanilla Factorio, which I say, yeah, you know, and it's 2/3 the price. So it doesn't and can't give the same value as the base game plus mods. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's fun new brands, presumably with all new enemies, military targets, resources, and recipes. There's quality and elevated rails. Nothing can outpace a vivid mod community, but just think of all the mods we'll get post 2.0. Yeah. They did mention in one of the Friday, helps if you put a chest in. One of the Friday facts that I think they were going to give like modders almost like a preview, because a lot of mods are going to need updating. Is that a worse recipe then? It's 25 mod, isn't it? I wonder if we could speed it up. Yes, and thank you for the bits, by the way. Again. I'm showing money. I've gone away and bought like bits long ago, so around. But I don't know how to at some point. I mean, it's fun. I say there's no obligation to do either. I say if you got them, you know, one have to take them, and it's in a sense telling you just a sort of transparency thing, sort of saying that's where they'll basically end up is going to charity. But say it doesn't matter, and I'm more than happy to take them, and it is very much appreciated. But say I just sometimes I have had people come in and donate a bunch of bits, and it's like, well, it's very much appreciated, but it's more how can I put it? If it's bits, Twitch gets a slice, but if it goes to the charity, then I believe they just do it directly. So if I oops. That's the basic, mate. It's a very early taking seat block. Okay. And dirty. If I ever make a factory game, I would make a screen from the recipes so the animation can be visible. Right, yeah. Yes, the big modders will have early access. Most of these already have source access anyway. Also, some of the biggest modders already work for WoW. Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know, when did... was it known that... what their name? I can't remember their name, but... Factorio 2 mod. Is it Rhaegar? I can't remember his name. But I didn't know that he, started working for WoW. WoW rather. Obviously, Arundel's the one everyone knows, I think. I did. That was partly that sort of revelation. It's something I've been thinking anyway. But the point in the big video I did, or if you haven't seen it, where I was basically saying that like the teleporter and teleporting home, because it's not quite, but it's kind of what you do in Factorio, in Factorio 2. And I did wonder, because if you think SpaceX, Space Age, they've hired the SpaceX dev, and if the thing gets home, using a teleporter or a big transmitter or something like that, then it sort of gets rid of that accusation of plagiarism in a sense of well, the guy who developed that mod that we're basically copying now works for us, sort of thing. Rhaegar, yeah. Oh, he's not the maker? Oh, I see. Okay. Imagine once they close like another way, they give modders time to try integrate the new engine and content. I think reveal quality so early for partially this reason. It obviously affects any mod that adds new items. Yeah. Also, Thurinus, Factory Planner, right, and Clonan. Yeah, I know Clonan's done a load of stuff. I think that was as a dev though, wasn't it? A lot of them, rather than before they were a dev sort of thing. So glad we went the route of pro modding. You do need to be careful. Don't undercut your product sales, but it can be managed with good relations Technically, space platforms were shown in Friday Facts 74. Yeah, that was I didn't follow the Friday Facts thing back then, but I remember they were posting them. Yeah. Right, so that's going to take a small ice age, isn't it? So I think we just leave it for now. I'll probably hoover up some rock as well. Where did I leave my car? Up there. Okay. It's seriously close to how they look now. Yeah, I thought that as well. I was like, they clearly got quite a long way with working out what it was, because it was remarkably similar to, you know, how it actually now looks. Grab all that rock. There's 2 landfill recipes, aren't there? That's, I think, partially what's confusing me, but also the fact that this is in a completely separate section. Yeah, it's there. That's what's confusing me. Well, one of the things. Many things. It doesn't take a lot, but... so while they're scrapping RCUs... Yeah, one of the things I didn't quite understand when they kind of announced it, they were like, oh, you can enable the content. You know, you could play a vanilla game through and then enable the content. And I don't understand how that would work, because obviously in vanilla at the moment, you need to, you know, build RCUs and use them to launch rockets. Where am I? I'm at the wrong side, aren't I? So I kind of wondered if maybe RCUs are just gone. So they're not just gone for the expansion. They're just, you know, if you played vanilla in version 2.0, there just wouldn't be any RCUs. Now, we can probably be a little bit smarter about this. But that, to me, implies that... I mean, it could obviously do what the thing a normal mod does, where it just goes... Unlike this did at the beginning, where it just goes... You've enabled the expansion. You know, these recipes are now redundant. The machines aren't doing anything anymore. But yeah, I think basically you couldn't... If you played a version 1... Oops, not that. Doesn't have a thing. Then it wouldn't transfer over, if you see what I mean. So you'd have to rebuild your factory, essentially. And like here, you know, I wish I could redo this landfill, because that's wasted landfill. But I can't yet. 2.0 without Spaceship Center won't have RCUs either. Oh, right, okay. I didn't know they confirmed that. Confusing is when they showed off the infinite recipe production research, the example they used was RCU. I thought that as well. I thought I'd imagined it, but because I thought it was RCUs that they showed, and yet, you know, as you say, because I could understand taking them out of the rocket recipe, because obviously they used it in a few other things, and I sort of thought, well, maybe, but they did state, I think they did say that they're removed altogether, but it was more like I'm just wondering whether I shouldn't just divert down there rather than mess around with the damn landfill. I think I'm going to do that. Because this is just going to get annoying waiting for this. Because it's actually quite a lot of landfill I need. Right items are completely. I might keep the recipe but change the name so it's used for something else. Someone said they're going to. We know RCUs though, yeah. Landfill blueprints. Yeah, I didn't do that. That'll be so much easier. I mean, you won't even have to bother with that in the new one. But yeah, I sort of. It's probably the one thing I should have done that I didn't with them. Right, so if we chop this back here. Don't know why I'm doing this and not getting the bots to do it. It showed RCUs. Decided to remove them a week later. Oh, right. They were used in Just Rockets, Nuke, Spider, and Spider remotes. Which is also gone, yeah. Water Pause is a mod. It's literally one line. Is it really? Hopefully Power Pause will be water placeable now. People think they showed that. Certainly in one of the map screenshots it would be a nice change, yeah. Yeah. I suppose it could just be the super force build thing, basically. So, yeah, that you can just force anything to be built over water, effectively. Right, so am I literally just putting a kink in? Or do we need to straight bit? So if I put that there, it's going to still hit the water, isn't it? That's annoying. So let's put one of those in. And then chop it back. And see where that takes us. One of the things I didn't realise is, you know the cliff explosives? They throw it at the cliff I always thought they, flew up to it and actually placed cliff explosive, but they just get close enough and lob it like you can. It's literally the other week I saw that. If I put that there, is it going to hit my... I hit the pipes, I think, but not the other one. So maybe if we do it down there and just obliterate the cliff, maybe? Yeah, we'll do that, I think. So... there. I need to chop that back. Redo it. Where's your kinky? Oh yeah, putting a little kink in. There's nothing wrong with a little kink. Spice of life. Robots have little arms, they throw their explosives, yeah. I was thinking it's weird if rail is now water placeable, but power is not. Many people here put power along with their rail blueprints. Rails aren't water placeable, only elevated rails. Yeah. Yes, it's the pole, like the stand things, isn't it, that you can actually place on the water. So, hopefully that's enough for us to go down there. It is, but we are not going to have enough room for a station if I follow that curve, because it'll end up there. So it looks like I'm going to have to get even more kinky. So what's the sort of maximum distance? I guess, counting the power poles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the power pole there, that is like the closest or what have you that I could do a station. I could obviously do it vertically, I guess. Maybe I should do that instead. So if we put a kink in there... Oh, in fact, that looks even more horrendous what I can't got before. So I could put the actual drop-off station in there, couldn't we? And just pump it in. Yeah, let's do that then. This is deliberately all spaghetti, by the way. If you've not seen this series, it's sort of... I'm trying to kind of preserve the things I build. Just as like a extra little, twist to it, basically. A little extra challenge. Yes, but people whilst that want to ring power along if they're used to it. Not a real Factorio unless you go for some spaghetti. Yeah. Actually, I'll do this. Heart. A bit more efficient. Doo-doo-doo. Let's just place that in to there. Pop that on. Right, and obviously this needs to be on the other side. In fact, let's copy and paste it rather. So to F. Pop that there. Get rid of it. Well, say it's got to be on the other side. I could just pump it in there, couldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. One I noticed is they said military targets instead of new enemies. They seem a very intentional verbiage. I think there will be like robotic enemies or partially hostile enemies, like how piglins in Minecraft are hostile normally, but they can be bartered with. Yeah, it's interesting to think about that point on this the thing. I mean, it's not on the hotbar because, as I mentioned before, I tend to be a little lazy, and some features I kind of just don't use basically. The reason it's in here is because it's it is in my blueprints as well, but the way I use it, I delete things out of it. So this is like the blueprints I've got left, and in fact I said that, and the burner base I've not deleted, but I kind of delete things as I go. I think I just so this has got all of the stuff in, and then this is what I've got left, and you see it's a different set of things basically. So I should have been tidying up before, but the idea with the blueprint is I always take a copy from here, and then delete things as I've used them basically. Where are you? Yeah, deleting main book by spec. That's exactly it. And you'll see actually the reason it's got so many of these are variants. As I did a whole streamer series where I worked up my blueprints because I'd never had like a standardized set of blueprints. I'd always build new every time. Why are these not? Oh, we've not got any rail. That's fine. Just like designing is the thing I enjoy the most in the game. But the thing is, I kind of did a Mega Base series, and two things occurred to me because I'd never built a Mega Base as well. I had 3,000 hours and never built a Mega Base. I wouldn't even say I succeeded in the in the streaming series I did, but it was sort of very apparent to me that even though I don't design. A lot of the stuff I just repeat, so there was no point not having blueprints. Now this is going to have fuel as well, isn't it? This end. Where are those? There they are. Yeah, so I eventually did that blueprint series, and I'm a bit terrible for getting blueprints confused. It would be nice, another quality of life thing I'd want to have is to be able to colour blueprints in. I get why they're blue, but it'd be nice to be able to sort of, tweak them in different ways, basically. And then I'd know, or I'd at least have something that said to me, this is the proper book, and this is your copy of it, and things like that. But that's why there's loads of these, because this is me working through the series, basically keeping an archive of the last few streams, essentially. Because I get so paranoid about deleting the things that, I just wanted to keep them, basically. Asteroid's not known for their bartering skills. Your blueprint book are so messy. I take hours organising things that I can't handle it otherwise. Making up like 250 cents for me. science per minute and mega racing always feel like a different game. So it feels very different when you reach the omnipotent fast spots with mountains of resources. Yeah. So my biggest mega race is 2 modules of raw ores, 250 science per minute. Got bored of it once I saw I can do it, and it wasn't an issue to add more 500 science per minute. Yeah, I mean, I bit off more than I could chew in the series that I did, basically because I went for... Where are the requesters now? I went for 5,000 science a minute, I think, as my very first attempt. And literally built the factories to build the sciences as that, basically. So building 5,000 science a minute, and the sort of lack of experience of doing it kind of showed, basically. Because it was like, well, some of them didn't really work. The thing also that I kind of realised with it was that have I not got an... I have, but it's not. It's 141. That what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. I've trapped myself in there, haven't I? Oh, there we go. That... No, completely forgotten. So if we put that in there, and then maybe that becomes a pump. And then... Right, so we need to connect this to logistics network. So SA will let you go quite insane with science per minute. Yeah, and I think deliberately. I think that's the intention of it, and but to do it in like a factory that's not, just stamping down the same blueprint over and over again and building it type of thing. The sort of upgrade route rather than just more sort of route, I think, is where they're going. So that's why I think each of these new buildings relate to the... Can I just fit that in there? I think I can. The different module types, so that if you want to build a base that's faster, you can use more of the blue machine, basically. So does that have the recipe? It does. That's incoming. Let's let them do that. That's one reason I'm so excited for the expansion. I tend to restart a lot. Sounds like you as well. And so just bigger mega base, I can instead have more science packs, more miners, more assemblers types, etc. Goes wider, I don't need to go taller. It does go quality with quality, optionally, and infant prod researches. Clearly lab prod research eventually. We haven't really heard about that, have we? Because I wonder how much of a boost it is and whether it is infinite. Did they say it was infinite? Out the side, big mining drill are geared towards mega bases, which is nice. Elevator rails are also for mega bases. Doesn't fry your computer. Yeah. I think that's, you're saying about respecting the players sort of thing. There's an achievement for getting a legendary Power Mark II with legendary equipment. One for eating a legendary fish. How do you get a legendary fish? How do you get quality fish then? You can put fish through the recyclers? Is it these things they've always said on like Discord and Reddit and stuff, is it? I think heavy mining drill is more fitting. It's weird they kind of gave up on keeping somewhat serious naming conventions across the when they decided to give the science pack serious names and let the community have colloquial names, Red Juice and Blue Arm. Oh, recycle a legendary Spidertron, I see. So you can build a legendary Spidertron without a legendary fish then? And then I saw comments saying RIP 100% speedrunners. The category is probably going to be like 5 times longer with a single achievement alone. I mean, speedrun is not something I'm particularly into, but I don't know. Is it possible to do 100% in a single sitting? Because, as you say, with the expansion, I suppose you could still do. Because this is one of the things I don't. I was saying about, as you said, you turn the rocket control units off completely for the game, for version 2.0 of the game. Is the end of the game, it must still be launch a rocket. Because if they made them cheaper. Because this is the bit I don't get. If they're locking things to planets, how will you ever? And you buy, Factorio Vanilla version 2.0, and you buy it, will you never be able to build a Spidertron? And if rockets are cheaper and achieved through blue science, how do you finish the game? Because I mean, I don't know if I guess you can change Steam achievements. I don't know, but how do you get those technologies if you've not got the expansion and you're just playing vanilla Factorio? Some of it must still be there or enableable in some way. And if you're switching between the two, what does it do? As I guess you could. Nearly got me. Epic fishing luck. It's going to be wild choosing the right planet, ordering remote stuff. Epic fishing. I believe it's not in the base game. The mod that will let you start on a planet of choice on a random planet. Interesting, yeah. But they figured it out will cost about as much as 20 green circuits, so you do it on the way. The assumption is that there will be a different set of achievements. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there will be Space Age expansion, but the achievements they've got for Vanilla Factorio, are they going to change them? Because at the moment, the end of the game achievement is launching a rocket, and that's now blue science. So you can finish the game before building purple and yellow. Give something about that on instead of putting them all in a chest. The end of Space Age is after the last planet. No spoon. Oops. No spoon might be impossible with the expansion. We'll see. It's one of the only achievements that has that issue as its skill base. Different spoon. It's about double the content of vanilla as a spoon. It'll be like 20 hours, I guess. I don't think the base achievement will change. Launching is only blue in Space Age. Space Age not in base. But that's my point, you see. So they did say that you could turn Space Age expansion on. So if you play through Vanilla Factorio, then you can turn on Space Age. So what happens? Because if you play through Vanilla Factorio and it's got Spidertron in it because they don't want to lock off the content or remove content, then you've already got Spidertron. So does it do the thing where it deletes it all? Because that's a bit weird, if I'm honest. Because it would take you back in tech, basically, wouldn't it? Because if you're saying, right, these this like Cliff Explosive. Cliff Explosives is pretty early on in base Factorio. If you play through Vanilla Factorio without any of the Space Age on, or you just enable elevated rails or something like that, you can get Cliff Explosive, turn on Space Age, suddenly you've not got Cliff Explosive. That's a bit of a weird way of doing things, in my opinion, but you can, but they said it not recommended to get some unlocks. I think I'll just keep it. Most players will just restart anyway. Yeah, I mean, but I know there are people, aren't there, who they've literally just built one base. They've got that's their base they play in. Or they play the same map for 500 hours. Or it's not, it doesn't matter. And if it does just switch things off, then they'll just have to unlock them, sort of thing. But, you know, if you're in an endgame base, you've got behemoth biters running all over the place. And what, suddenly it takes the evolution factor back? Don't know. I think they'd be safer, basically, to say that it's a mod that you can't add, that it's an, you know, if you've played the game past a certain point. Although I don't know how you would actually do this. You can't actually add space age. I've forgotten what I was doing. I'm too busy chatting with you guys. They're filling up the oil. I'm done, aren't I? I don't need to do anything else. Because this is ready to go. Oh, I've not named it. So I'll do that. Have these filled up? So it's not completely full of coal. Have I hit the point where coal is not actually in the logistics system anymore? Have I used up all the coal? I think I might have. So let's just do a little cheeky storage chest. Like so. Give it a filter. Where does coal live in this? I always forget. It's somewhere weird. There it is. And I don't know. Let's do 6 stacks or something. Right. I should also turn this off. Because I do not need 2,000 landfill. I like conjecture on what happens with evolution factor. They might do a hybrid, which now includes global time, not just local time on a planet. Pollution and kills are localized to that planet. That's what they said. It makes sense. I won't care because I'll be beelining all the planets anyway to play with the new toys. Beelining won't be trivial. Whoops. But it won't be trivial. You need to launch a rocket to leave the planets. Yeah, although, would you not be able to ship the parts over? So you could... I tend to think of, if you're wanting to... I guess I wouldn't be speedrunning, but if you're wanting to go quickly through it, you kind of need to be turning up with as much of the stuff as you can, I think. And then it's just literally... So you'd kind of want to build loads of space platforms, you know, quick ones with reasonable storage, and have loads of them come over. So you build a pretty big base that can pump out rockets on Nalvis, and then you're just firing them off, one after the other, sending you the belts and everything you need to get that basic stuff done. Because I know they said rocket silos can't be sent, but you could send the bits to make rocket silos, I'm sure. Concrete and all that sort of stuff. Are we there? Can we turn this on yet? I know I need a bit more rail. Because I always need a bit more rail. Okay. Are we there? Delivering 404. Delivering 404. Okay, you've got 209. I'm sure it's a short trip, so I'm sure you'll make it. Right, so what are we going to call these? This needs to be... so it's an unload, but it's not that one. It's natural gas, but I don't know where that lives as a symbol. So, natural gas. Unload. And In fact, I'll just do that. Edit it down. Load. Oh. Right, so you need to go to load. Unload. All empty. Can't wait for Michael Hendricks and others doing like max biter settings for a full game 5-planet run. And watch as they barely conquer a planet, only for a prior planet to completely subside. Instruction box are going to be very important now because of remote requests, which I think is why they got a big improvement. You know, fixing a lot of those issues is the fact that, I mean, it sounds like, I don't know about, it probably isn't quite how it will work, because I'm sure there's more. Because this is one of my questions, and I was talking about in that video, was to what extent is there interaction between the planets? You know, we know you can build certainly the foundry on any planet, and my assumption you can build any of the the buildings on any of the planets. But to what extent is that vital? Because this thing, as I say, that maybe you need aluminium to build some of the buildings that are unlocked on other planets. That feels like it'll make them more coherent, but then to what extent are you going to have to move around between the planets yourself? And it comes back to that point you were saying earlier about Baker Magician, about if it takes a long time to travel between the planets, that's going to be quite annoying, to be honest with you. I suppose it's that reason you would build a single massive ship with that's just a wall of engine, a wall of motors, and it blasts between the things. But to what extent are you going to have to move between them? Because even remotely, there's only always so much you can do. And sometimes it's just quicker to get out and spaghetti something together rather than, rely on the bots and blueprints and stuff. Of course, bots can build your spaghetti rubbish, but it's always easier just to do it by hand for small stuff, I find. Rocket parts are heavy. Good luck shipping them. But as I say, you can ship the things that make rocket parts. Yeah, it was my thinking that, the bits that make them up, and send those. And even if it's, even if that's not very efficient, and actually, you want to send steel or a component that's heavy with steel, and you recycle it or stuff like that. It feels like, if you're wanting to go through a planet quickly, arriving there with as much as you can is kind of the way to go. I think that remote controls are, but can't build new things without robots. If your train network deadlocks, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you've got a deadlocked rail system, or the biters break through and destroy half your base, or destroy your power network. They chew through the one cable that one power pole that you've left connecting accidentally your entire power to your base. The robots will run out of power, and you're going to have to go back. So, independent personnel personal portal, be a late game reward. Having to wait 10 minutes or whatever to turn the planet feels bad, and the whole point of Factorio is to make life easier for yourself. And I say that's kind of where I was coming from the portal thing in the video. I was sort of saying that that's your reward, and that the end game is building a big portal so that you could go home, but you'll get mini portals out of it. When low density structures weighs 50 kilograms. Low density is just enormous. I've actually grew up in the States, and we to have the worst metric system. Grams on me base 10. And else, I still have trouble translating kilograms, something that makes sense in my brain. So, I know they call it American. It's actually British, It's the imperial system, and it's just copied. It is different. It is tweaked, but imperial is, pounds, pound, shilling, and pence, but also pounds, and stones and all of that stuff. That's an imperial system. And it's based on, it's the slightly different maths, isn't it? Because it's like base 12, basically. Is it? Or base 16? I can't remember. But it's because it's actually easier to do that maths than base 10. You know, because it's that whole thing that 6 is that, and you know, really dividable number. And so the maths is actually easier when you're used to it on a lot of it. Although obviously 14 is a not particularly divisible number, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. I say, I don't actually know what the source root is of the Americans just keeping it. You'd have thought with, you know, the whole independence thing, you might have wanted to go with the French system, but okay. Miles is a weird number though. That's a weird distance. I think your suggestion of Spider-Man needing 2 planets and looking makes sense. I think most recipes and texts will be localised to your planet, and 4 will require multi-planet just to nudge you to keep exploring, yeah. So it's actually not needed to ship up because asteroids have iron. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Could hoover up a load of iron. Remember that Space Age is not meant for new players. Build well. Yeah, I think they are making it relatively accessible, aren't they? I think it's, as you say, it's end game, so it's obviously going to be more complicated, but I don't think their intention is to kind of, you know, stump new players, if you see what I mean. Right, so how much of a difference has that made? It looks like virtually nothing. Why is that not flowing? Oh, because that pipe is completely full. Yeah, so maybe we need some actual more of these instead, or as well. I could also do modules. So I should have realised that because they're called pounds. I can't see. Right, it makes sense. Retaining it is essentially our parents. Ship water barrows down. They want it to be approachable, but I will not recommend Space Age to join newbies. There will be so much more content, and people already think base Factorio is overloaded. So I'm wondering if people will actually do a Volcanus, at least for the very start, possibly. I think I said in the thing, it'll be interesting to see what the, you know, obviously fundamentally what's on the new planets, but what's the reason for not doing Volcanus first every time? You know, there's got to be some stuff on there that's just like, you know, that's really what I need and want, sort of thing. What is this? This is an oil and gas separator. Can I build? I can build a couple of level 2s. Let's put those in. Where's the... Oops. If you get water from sulfuric acid now, but it might be more efficient just to have a floating platform do it automatically. Fire and CC, yeah, it's really hot water, isn't it? Is the idea. And you put it in, yeah, as you say, in the turbine. Why have they not? Did I only build one? Oh no, I guess these are in the network somewhere. Huh, let's just put it in there. Question they didn't answer, probably figured out. How does resource from Space Hub get down to the planet? Does it just teleport? Do we have interspace rockets that function as a sort of elevator? They just sort of teleport, but there'll be a nice animation. Going down is free. Another planet. Offer more logistical options, 2.0 bots, an upgraded belt. Maybe just blue belts will be moved to Fulgora or something. That way you either get more production from Volcanus or more throughput through Fulgora, yeah. Real pull mechanic that will depend on the player, their goals, if it's challenging to run, etc. I'm a god gamer now, joke. I'm just so excited for expansion. Consider joining the Discord then. That's where we worked on the planet names. So many discussions about quality. Yeah, the list of things that they've said are locked to, what should we call it? You know, the planets is quite small, I think, from what they've said. But I think that's more because they've not told us all the other stuff that's locked there. Are you processing anything like all the fluids? No, there's loads left, isn't there? Oh, we could upgrade these machines. I was just wondering about sticking another one in. Because this is where we are short. Cool. Now any of these pipes getting blocked or anything? No, we have a good amount coming in. These are now running continuously. They are not backing up though. You are not running continuously, are you? No, you're not getting enough natural gas. Natural gas liquids, rather. So maybe I could give these a little speedy tweak. Still not quite enough. Don't think I've built them then. What are they? They are gas refineries. Can I just sneak in a level 2? We'll do one extra level 2 one. Quality simulation mod. Like when I come around on the randomness, to me, in the quantization isn't really fun camp, but I can just ignore uncommon and epic and instead just treat quality as 3 tiered instead of 5. Okay. I have to confess, I didn't quite see the fusso people had over that. Seemed a bit sort of storm in a teacup to me, but then my job tends to involve a lot of statistics, so you know, the fact that if you run the random enough, it's not really random anymore, it's just a percentage, you know, output. Okay. Boop. Right, let's put one here in the middle. Any more slots? No. Because that is wasting some of it, isn't it? Can I build a couple? Oops. What are they? Refineries or refineries? Refineries. This is why I need to get this logistics system done and set up a proper mall, because we need more of these. I think I've probably used up all my pipes. One thing I like about quality, it adds a new axiom to build towards in it. Vanilla basically have a mall, module builder, defense and tech, so axioms, and after a while it gets a little stale. Adding quality essentially at mauling, but it's more specialised unit builds without beaconing. Yeah, I mean, it's the type of thing that I'm looking forward to building, you know, working out how I'm going to build them, if you see what I mean, and I'm sure people will be min-maxing it and optimizing it and all that sort of stuff, but you know, like I do my standard this is how I build sort of thing, you know, having my version of that for quality is going to be quite fun to discover, I think, because yeah, I think it will need to be quite different to what I normally do, not least of all as they can output directly on belts. That's an interesting addition. Pipes, wasn't it? Which do I have down here? I think sort of. In there. Let's just go and grab them up. Yeah, there. What's that storming camp? I think it'll dial down once people have their hands on it. If they really hate it, they can literally turn the mod off. They might still have FOMO. See, other people have high quality stuff, but that's their problem. Yeah, this is one of those things, isn't it? It's where you come back to that thing of, you know, respecting the players, but not, you know, not just kowtowing to them, because there tends to be, and I guess they're particularly used to it, having, you know, gone through that long early access period. But it tends to be a kind of a conservativeness to gamers, I find, that it's like, you know, I like this game, and you'll get that sort of contradictory message of I want new stuff, you know, I want more content adding to it. But if you add more content and change it, then I'm gonna, you know, throw a tantrum and rail against it. And it's like, you know, which are you doing? Are you adding more, or are you, you know, just keeping it as is because everyone's happy with it, sort of thing? So you have to sort of take that little thing with a little bit of a pinch of salt, I think. Right, so we should have a couple more, or certainly one more gas refinery that we can add on. Maybe replace and then upgrade the other one. No. Oh, not enough steel. Okay. Let's just pop an extra one in. It's too close. Now, what are you even doing? Don't know why that one's there. I think just venting this acid gas. Must be. Must be. Helps if you connect it properly. There you go. Why do you not have power? Just backing up now. Got so much of it, can't use it all. Enjoy the Foundry is a 5x5 instead of assembler 3x3. Currently the best known way to make LDS and steel. Going to want to utilise them. I'll shake up builds a bit. 50% base productivity and more space for beacons. Yeah, quality distributed a major design pillar for many people. That being stability, the randomness is okay in other games. I want that experience, but we play Factorio based because it's always plays the same. 2 iron plates will make a gear. Personally choose to add prod modules to increase the ratio. Don't like the random element particularly, I think, because people enjoy the very deterministic nature of Factorio. As I say, I get it. I'd say it wasn't, didn't mean, I didn't understand, you know, I get where people are concerned, but the numbers you do in Factorio, when you build 1 million of something, 20% chance isn't really random. It's, you know, 200,000. It's not, you know, give or take a few, and you're not really going to notice the few. Plus, of course, as I say, my counter to that as well is you've already got one. It's the uranium. That's already a randomised process. So yeah, I sort of, to me, it just seemed like a fuss over nothing. But I say it's just me. What I'm going to not worry about high quantities, safe scan for low volume, etc. E.g. armors. I guess that depends how they do random, though, doesn't it? Because this is another thing. I mean, computers can't actually do random. They can fake random, but you have to do other things to get properly random things. So it kind of, depending on how they do their, you know, random seed storage, you might not be able to save scam it either, because it'll always, if it's, you know, entry in the random seed table, basically. Then at any point you save it, it will know what the next random seed is, basically. Factorio as well that they'll always put extra, exactly 40 bullets to steam engine to save resources. 80 million extra pipes because they got lazy in designing. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I think it was a childish reaction. Adjust. When you roll on one power armor, you fuss over this deterministic RNG. You share a ton of things so you can manipulate it. Right, so. There's gas there. But that's it. That's it, isn't it? So, all I've managed to do is add one, but then I didn't realise I wasn't dropping it off. So, I'll follow you. Gotta hate the fluids in this game. It's just stupid how it works. Right. So, where was that? If we just take that off then. Wasn't there one down? There is one down here. This might be the easiest one to add on, even though it's a long journey for the train. Yeah, let's go and add that one on, because that would be fairly quick. Well, legendary radar, you can always use legendary plates, gears, and GCs, and it'll always make a legendary radar, so you don't have to deal with the dice rolling. If you don't want to, just makes more time, as it should. Although you have to deal with the dice rolling for the lower components, but I take the point. It's the it's easier to set up a mass-producing, system for a relatively low volume. Low complexity item, isn't it? Rather than a more complex item in and of itself. Is there a way through there? As you were saying earlier, I think, Sylvan, the trick is going to be getting the achievements, as you say. Like if there's an achievement for eating a legendary fish, and you can only get it through recycling a legendary Spidertron, it's a lot of chunking through. You're either going to have to make an entire mega base just to make Spidertrons. Why have I stopped here? Wrong colour. Or oh yeah. Trying to crash. Okay. So we've got oil as well here, actually. I had not spotted that. And whatever the heck the thermal water is for. Let's put this below then. I want it now, so I'll just one step below and scum it. That's my prerogative. You're welcome. There is its own trade-off of having to reload again, which takes time. Seems fair enough to me. That's when it gets a new meaning. Yeah. I suppose we'll end. Well, do you think maybe a mega base in the future will be quality per minute or something like that, or legendary? Legendary power armors per minute or something like that. Right. How close are you lot? You're not that close, are you? Okay. Let's assume the train is not going to run them over. If we put it, and I can't see the end of that blueprint, we put it quite close to the main track. Where's the station? There's the station. Yeah, let's put it over here. I think you can recycle a legendary item and get legendary components. Not very clear. Studying the gifts they present it, that seems to be how it operates. It's quite clear that recyclers can recycle up if they have quality modules, which feels weird, but whatever. You can even increase the quality. You put quality modules in your recyclers. Spidertrons per minute. Yeah. My guess is people will make quality farms for simple things: green chips, gears, iron plates. They stop by once in a while to make high quality drills, radars, arms, etc. Yeah. I guess it depends on exactly what, because they didn't define everything that gives, as in what the quality boosts are for everything. I think, did they? Or maybe they did, and I didn't realise. But it's going to be tricky for some things, I think. To, in a sense, why would you want certain items in quality? If you see what I mean. Because the bonuses probably don't justify the cost. So it does possibly come back to while I'm playing Factorio, I want the best thing. The challenge of actually making the best thing rather than necessarily that best thing being that much more beneficial. Right. The railing. Quality modules, even level 1s, almost completely negate efficiency modules used in a mall. Why efficiency when you can occasionally score big, so use efficiency in malls. Doesn't negate efficiency one in miners. Yeah, I was thinking about the efficiency thing, because someone pointed out, I hadn't really thought about the maths, and I'd sort of never really, played with them as such. It always just seemed like an extra thing to produce. And where the benefit was not great, but the power benefit, the power benefit is actually huge. When you're at sort of megabase scale, I don't know how the maths works out for. Maybe you only just need to stick with level 1s, and that's enough, sort of thing. But if you're laying down lots and lots of miners, smelters and stuff. Especially when you've got lots of prod research done. If you're at a stage where your miners are, filling one miner fills a belt type thing, actually efficiency is probably fairly useful because you can just have, no power and no pollution being produced. That's probably a terrible example, but it did feel like actually maybe I should, try some of them out. There was a thread on the Reddit. Yeah, I've got tanks, haven't I? So, if I just sort of copy this, like so. Like that. One notable miss from the list of items that gets a boost from quality beyond hit points is trains, both from locomotives and wagons. The problem with that is your train buffer chests will have split stacks, which sounds like it could cause serious throughput issues. Trains for normals and trains for all the rest. That's a good idea. I really should join Discord. Yeah. People have neat ideas. Quite shy normally. So what Colonel Well did in his quality base. Missed something there. Yeah, so and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I had this whole theory at one point. One of my many theories that we'd get level 2 items, and that's kind of how they would do a lot of this stuff. But the things they've been showing, I ended up, thinking that maybe that wasn't. And quality kind of does that. Whatever you want to call it. I don't like the RPG names. I find them stupid because, an uncommon is not a measure of, quality. It's a measure of, frequency. But yeah, I never really got on with WoW and all that sort of stuff anyway. But yeah, I sort of should I put this station in while I'm here? It's only 2 oil things. I don't know that we need more oil. But yeah, the quality sort of gives you that level 2 thing, It's basically what it is. So yeah, a uncommon train. How much better is that than a common train or an epic train? I mean, it's got to improve something like speed, but is that it? Wait, did I? I didn't name that, did I? So it should be load 2. Sorry, it took me here, and there we go. Ideas, change menu. Use the. Why the quality naming? It's just name image. I thought they should just keep the colour convention but change the names. Yeah. So I made any comments about the name, so I'm sure at least the mod that changed it's literally just a line of code. Yeah. Yeah. It's the problem is, I mean, I know. You remember when they did the WoW Classic? There's some posts. Wait, is that? That's gas. Huh. Bit random place for it, but could tap that as well. Yeah, basically the Covrix and that was saying they basically essentially abandoned Factorio and just played like WoW Classic. And if you look at the timing of that, that's where it's come from basically. So we want to add another train here. I didn't put modules in the things there. Pristine train, yeah. So someone suggests masterwork as the final tier. This fit is not a big long word. Legendary is also long though. It was a game they just called it by colours. Like I need some green, red circuits and green. Yeah, that's what I'll probably. I think just level 2. I say, it's what I'd envisage being put into the game. The whole level system, anyway. And so I think for me they'll just be level 2 green circuits and level 4 green circuits and that sort of thing. Because I just will not remember the names. It's just not, as I say, because those types of games aren't my cup of tea. It's just not in my lexicon. And like people that do like get these live service games, and they'll be like a purple rifle, and I'm like, I don't. What does purple mean? Why is purple good? Right, so you want to go to load 2, and then come back here, And then you want to be full there. You want to be empty there. We will give it a little sec. Because this is all just a spur, so we can have trains just queuing up for days, mate. Right, so we'll let it put a bit of coal in, because it does have to go a fair way. And then send it over. Make sure it's working. It's like, you know, an example of my laziness, and, you know, I mean, you know, I should be recolouring these trains and stuff, you know, these stations. It's why, you know, I was saying about, when they were, you know, doing that thing of it will change colour to indicate what, you know, station it's going to, and that, I was like, well, I don't recolour my train stations, so, you know, every train will be red, and every train is already red, so I'm sure it'd be great for people who do, but I just can't be bothered. Let's guess. Need a blue-green assembler with 4 orange red modules, level 3. It'll be off for now. Have a good one, and thank you for joining, Solburn. It's really good to have the two of you chatting. Bit of a new experience for me. People don't tend to chat, you know, when they just, you know, have a bit of a look, which I'm always appreciative of as well. I do like to have all sorts of viewers, but thank you very much for chatting along. It's very much appreciated, and yeah, and hope to see you again. Right, so I'm assuming they filled it up. Yeah, let's have you do that, and we will see if it works. Does seem like this expansion will be at a ton already. Quality, elevated rails, new planets, interplanetary logistics, new techs. These things are listed in tandem. It'll be a good hold off, but damn, it's going to be fun to explore. Yeah, I mean, I say, one of the sort of questions I have with it, I guess, is the amount of stuff that they've revealed, and the fact that we've got 3 entire planets left with mechanics, and we know nothing about the new combat. You know, we don't actually know a lot about the space platforms, really, when you think about it. The claim that it's the same amount of content again feels like an underestimate. Maybe it's the same, you know, time investment for an experienced player. But, and this just comes back to your point about, you know, is it too complicated for new players? Well, that's completely wrong, isn't it? What sort of an idiot has done that then? What the heck have I managed to do there? I copied a shorter station, didn't I? Did I? No. 1, 2. I put it on the wrong one. What an idiot. Right, okay, let's pop over and fix that then. Thinking about they started the new Friday Fact series too early, lagging now clearly. I don't know. They did. I think they went too well. I don't know about too big bang, but they set a bit of an expectation. I think with the first, you know, few, that it was going to be, you know, new content after new content after, you know. So 1 week it would be Volcanus, 1 week Volgora, what, you know, and that's what they were going to do. And that was never really the Friday Facts from before. It was more, you know, you'd get like these techie ones. I mean, this, you know, the noise one was as techie as you can possibly get. I think that's probably the most complex one I've ever seen them do. But they used to do a lot of stuff like that as well. And this is what I was saying about the graphics. You know, I guess feel they need to reveal the features first. But we had entire blog posts before that were just here's a new, you know, new look for the beacons and things like that. So I don't know that they've gone too early, other than, as I say, earlier on, they're possibly not where they need to be with the artwork. And that, you know, the 5 blog posts we should have had of, well, here's the new, you know, the new look for this, you know, assemblers or something, I don't know. that's just not available, and that perhaps that's, you know, going to be a while before we can see all these pretty new buildings, you know. So yeah, I don't know about, you know, too early as such, but I think we may get quite a lot more technical ones before we find out anything, you know, like combat or anything like that. Right. Okay. It's not a disaster, but the deeply enfranchised like me, it's a bit annoying. The carrot dangling in my face, I need to be taken away for over a month. Oh, you mean for the new content? You know, the new stuff that's coming. Yeah, So are you? I mean, with the chat with Solburn, I didn't get a chance to ask you the sort of normal questions which I do, which is, I mean, do you play other factory games? You know, do you play sort of Satisfactory, or is it sort of a main Factorio? There's a friend of mine that just got to be patient. I know. Yeah, I mean, it will come. It will come. But as for about Factorio is kind of the only game he plays, basically, which it's just interesting to know. But so I tend to be. I'm quite a broad gamer. I mean, Factorio is like my favourite game ever. You know, it's not pretend, and I have probably as many hours in it as I've got. You know, the next 10 most popular games I've played combined. Particularly having done the streaming, but yeah, I do play. You know, play other. So like tomorrow I'll be playing Dyson Sphere program on the thing, and you know I play as many sort of factory games as I can. But I know a lot of players just, you know, Factorio is just their thing. That's what they do, and they play Factorio so far more strategy game play. Okay, people keep recommending Satisfactory, but I don't know if I'd enjoy the 3AD element. I'll be honest. Satisfactory is probably the most similar in terms of, you know, what you're doing, what the game is, the mechanics, that sort of thing. I have trouble with the 3D. It's difficult to build things in that game because you can't get the thing that, you know, Factorio gives you with the 2D is this, you know, I can see an entire factory in a single screen there, and it's sufficiently, I mean, obviously I'm on a 4K display, but you know, it's sufficiently detailed that I can see what all these machines are doing. You cannot do that in Satisfactory. You know, you're all right up in the thing all the time. It does have a massive advantage in that they've already got lots of, like you were saying about the Factorio thing, which is something I feel is missing from the game, really, the base game. But you know, they've already got that basically. You know, they've got enough, you know, pieces of architecture that you can build something that, when you do step back, it looks like a factory and looks really awesome. You know, but there's not. They introduced. Where has that come from? I'm wondering if this update has introduced, has like turned expansion back on. Why and how would it have done that? Something odd's going on. But yeah, so I would not actually recommend Satisfactory necessarily. You can join me tomorrow if you want and have a look at Dyson Sphere program. I would recommend that over Satisfactory, if I'm totally honest, because it's mechanically very similar to Factorio, but it does give you that 3D. I mean, it's more, you know, camera controllable 3D rather than fixed camera angle. I think it's a better game. I'm not. I've literally they've just done an update putting combat in the game, but you can switch it off. But so I've no idea whether that's any good or not, the combat. But But in terms of the actual game, the building a base, you know, say I think it's probably better than Satisfactory. You know, if you wanted a second game to try. Right, how am I going to weave this round? Maybe if we go there. Pop that in there. Could I just run parallel with that other pipe? Where does that actually go? It goes to there, doesn't it? I think I could, couldn't I? Just sort of feed it in here. Like that. And then if I just bring it parallel. It's a long way to take a single pump jack of gas. Should also pop out and find what's to pile of rise, wish me luck. Nice chatting with you in real time. Yeah, it's very good. You know, thanks for joining. And yeah, good luck with your boss. You didn't say what game that was, but yeah, I hope you have fun. And yes, thank you for joining. It's very much appreciated. And say thanks for the you know, bits and all that. It is very much appreciated, even though I do worry when I say that. It just sounds ungrateful, but I do very much appreciate it. But and it will be going to a good cause eventually. I need to finish that charity thing off because it's been there quite a while, to be honest with you. Oh, hello, X-Ray. How are you doing? Game is The Last Spell. Okay, I've not heard of that one. Very small indie game, extremely heavy mechanically, but so deep and rewarding. No worries on donation, I get it. Yep. Hang in there, good, good. But yes, I hope you have a... Oh, I forgot to put the pipe in, didn't I? Yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Right, I don't feel like I've really achieved a great deal here. The aim was to put the plastics in, but these cheeky chatters asking me lots of questions and doing chats. We've certainly got this one in. I guess, what time is it? 22. We know that one's working. Are these filled up is the question. This is the real... Yeah, we've got loads of gas in there now, haven't we? Yeah, that's all fully pumped. Gas condensate's full. Nice. So, what we really need is to make sure all of this end of things is really running. And find out what other machines we need to add in. Because I think, even though I'm now putting it in, I'm actually dumping a load of it. I am, aren't I? Why have I got that one on now? Because I'm not doing the same thing with the other products. Am I? Oh, I am eventually. And in fact, they're venting as well. I just need to upgrade everything, don't I? It's saying fluid ingredient shortage because there's just not enough getting through. Because there just aren't enough machines or high level machines or high enough modules in them to upgrade. But I want this dang research to be done. And that needs a lot of plastic. So, can I just send the train? 6k. Let's just send it over. And we'll do what we can with what we can. I mean, it looks like that's probably done a round trip as well. Is that really using plastic? Oh, there's way too much in there. We can chop that back. Let's go and do that then. Right, we'll put this pipe in. And then we will make sure that those chests are not... No. Not just sucking up all of our Plastic. For no good reason. This is a very long way. I said, where did these guys come from? These were not here. If it's turned expansion back on, I'm not going to be very pleased because, say, I've not got any interest in messing about with alien artifacts. Okay. Wait. Confuse me. Right. No, don't replace it. Okay, we'll pop in a pump here. So that's nice and close. Did want to check whether we've been... Oh, it's a power. And that's connecting in there. So that's all good. Yes, so the issue really is a lack of processing now. What I think I will do, so if the tank holds 25, maybe we put this up for one thing to 22 or something. So we're not venting it all until we really need to vent it. And then I suppose you take speeds, do you? Okay. These. So that raw gas is really coming in now. We're not really using it as much as we should. Oh, and also, can I add another one here? Yeah, that'll work. Need to build one, obviously. Is that a separator or a refinery? Refinery. Can't build one. No steel. Lack the steel. I could also tweak this, I guess, couldn't I? How would I tweak it? I guess what I need to do really is kind of move this track. If we take it across there. And then let's just dumb signal this as per. Do. Oh, I'm out of RAM. Any clues where my car is? All the way down there. Okay. Brilliant. Guess it's a long walk home then. Oh, we were going to do those plastic, weren't we? So, I think I did these already? No, I didn't. Okay. Let's just drop this down to that. How much room have I got? If I just dump out What can I dump out? Let's get rid of that one. That one. That one. One of them. That and that. And those. Okay. How much of this can I take? Not as much as you'd like. Okay. Thought I'd be able to just quickly stick it back in the system, but it's not quite going to let me do that. See, there's only limited to one. Right. Now, I think actually just get rid of everything I can. Because actually, even if I wander into the logistics system, those crawler bots are so slow, it kind of won't matter. What is that train doing up there? Why are you stopped? Oh, because... no. Why would that be on? What? Oh, there's no signals around this, are there? Huh. Why is that whole block not properly signalled? Right, we'll have to fix that as well. I have played this game before, I do promise. Right, take them. Two in there, take all that. And all of that. So I thought this was going to be a 5-minute. But nope. Okay, so I did not bother doing any signalling, it appears. Oops. Okay. These are definitely, hold on. Okay. So since we sent the plastic train away, and it can't go anywhere, let's see if we can't signal. Oh, I've only got 16. Okay, no, we can't do that. No, don't take my stuff. Don't take my stuff. Go away. Right. Yeah, there's just one of these that wasn't. There we go. Put them back. So, let's just check it all again. 98 because it's clearly emptied a couple out. Yeah, okay. Let's see about the plastic. So even that isn't really full. What are you after? So we need lots of signals, don't we? If we're going to fix that problem. What? What are you after? There's nothing for you to collect. No, there's nothing here. Silly bots. Silly bots. Right. I've just chucked this through here and not bothered to signal it at all. Yeah. Right. Or just dumb signal it though. Did I add that? No. There. In. There. There. Okay, so that's a block. And then that one's already done. We'll have to redo something, but that will pop. Actually, does that want to be maybe a chain? And maybe these should be chains, really. I mean, not that it's that high a throughput area. So, I mean, I keep that, I guess. So, if I just put that there, and crikey, we're going to put one here, there, and there, maybe. Because these are back and forth rails, aren't they? I think actually, I probably just simple solution is going to just stick them on there. So this is then a complete block. That probably should be a chain. Yes, yeah, and that one chain there. So it won't basically exit until that's all clear. I think basically it was like reading this train, essentially. Why is no sulfur at all? Fluid ingredient shortage. Ah, there may have been a change here then. Because I'm not feeding in the right thing. I don't think. Okay, so that may be a change that has happened. Anyway, let's do one job at a time. Except we can't, because there's no... Ah. Let's go and put this sulfur over here. So... Now, let's grab the plastic. So did that make it to the thing? Because I don't see any... It's made it. Has it come back? I think that's it coming back there, is it? Yeah. Okay. So... Plastic is just coming through. Okay. Now. You don't need all of that. Well, you don't even need that really, do you? Pop your menu for it. Okay. Why are you still... Oh, because that's on. Like that. No! No, leave it. No. Bad robots. No. My plastic. Go away. I mean, they're only trying to do what I told them to do. But just if they start chucking it into the main system. Yeah, I don't want the plastic. That kind of pressure I'm not messing about all this for. To then end up in some randomised chest somewhere. No, they're faster than me. No, go away. No. In fact, could I just... Oh no, it's switched on, doesn't it? Okay. I did this all for sulfur. I've clearly just not done it for plastic. So, make sure them are full. Go through here. Like so. It'll only take, you know, 1 or 2 million years to fill up again. I noticed logistics system hasn't, you know, started happening. Why is that? Because red circuits are only just coming through. Okay. Okay. So it's 6 o'clock. I need to get more rail to do that bit. Or tear up the existing rail. Let's tear up the existing rail. So let's just sort of grab. Oops. What we can here. No. And then we can put some of these signals as well, I guess. One here. Not actually sure how I'm going to do this stacking. Oops. All that? No. Needs to be a little bit further down. I'm not so looking forward to getting the new rail angles. These are, I find these really difficult to work with, the angles of the current game. It's never quite what you expect it to be, the curve. Right. So, take that one out. And I guess... can I have something in here? That we can go one down, can't we? I think. No, because we wouldn't be able to signal that. So... Oops. Come on. Right, so that's where I run out. Because it's only a 1-2-1 train. So, if I imagine there's always one in the station, and then we've got... Whoops. It's after me. 1, 2, 3. So that lets me put 4 on. And the question here is whether I can do the angle. Ooh! Good old auto rail planner. I think this will work, you see, is basically the point. But I don't know. I don't think I can attach that bit. So, other alternative is connecting it to this. Like that. No. Oh, God. Auto rail planner. What would we do without you? So, we then need... I need to block this in, don't I? So that needs to be there. Whoa! That would be a train. So that can't be there, can it? This needs to be signalled here. Because that's the out. And then this one will be a chain. And then we need... Oops. Chain, chain, chain. So it's coming along here, gets the signal, says... don't quite work, does it? Because that's got to be a signal there. So I guess that could be a... Would it work if it was a chain? No, I think this has to chain all the way back, doesn't it? But then it can't stop. Yeah, because that then becomes red. No, I think if these go, and those become regular signals, then it's very clunky, but it works because that's then a complete block. So if there's any train... Can I put a train? No, I can't put a train because I've not got a train. So if there's a train waiting in any of those, assuming it'll fit. Yeah, so the train will fit in there. And that'll stop it blocking, but no train will enter that whole block. If there's any kind of passing through or anything like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. Right, so I think that's all of that part. We've got... Oh, there we go. So we've got up to 80 now. So we'll get proper logistics. Next time, next Saturday, for Angels, we will start building the mall, I think. Let's put the schedule up. And... yeah, hopefully we'll then make a lot more progress because our the idea is then to build, as I say, a sort of a mall build, and we'll just build kind of everything, level 2 machines and all that sort of stuff, and it'll be fairly boring because it would just be repeating exactly the same thing over and over. But given that the science side of things, the basic machines, all of that is exactly the same in Angels as vanilla, I don't really see that as being the new content that I want to explore in this mod. So what we really need to do is get back to... Well, I need to decide, am I just going to disable the bio mod? Because, or just ignore the bio mod if I can. I don't know, it depends how much it forces you to play with it, but there's that part of it. But then once we've got them all up and running, we can upgrade a lot more machines, put in level 2 modules, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, then we'll make a lot more progress, I think, because we'll have a setup so that we can just add and add and add and add. Machine production. Yeah, because we're not technically that far, I don't think. We're talking about rocket launch as the end of this, and with that caveat that I've not got the upgrade that I need, we aren't actually that far off doing that research. So that will be next week. Tomorrow I will be playing Dososphere Program again. We will be doing the second stream in the Dark Fog series that I've just started. Obviously way behind everybody else. Everyone else has been playing with it since it came out, but I've literally just streamed last week. This week actually, Tuesday. Yeah, no, Monday. Whenever it was. It feels like I've been back to work. I've done so much work. It's been so hard. And I'm working tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. It just feels like I've been at work for weeks. But I literally went back on Wednesday, which is 3 days ago. So yeah, it was literally, as I say, Monday that I started the Dark Fox series. So we'll continue that. As I say, schedule's all on there. The other thing I usually promote is the YouTube channel, and I got a special thing on that as well that I have uploaded on Thursday. A wild speculation and what did I call it? I can't remember. I've called it wild ideas and rampant speculation or something. And it's basically a whole load of thoughts I've had about what might be coming up in version 2.0 of the game, and more specifically the Space Age expansion. It was a lot of fun to make, but a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun to make. And if you did have any interest in that, then a watch would be very much appreciated. It is an hour and a half. There are chapters in it, so you can jump around, but it is a big, long watch. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting and quite fun. But then I did it, so I would think that. And otherwise, obviously, the YouTube channel has all my VODs of this series and Bob's playthrough, Mega Base, No Spoon Run, everything else I've done, Satisfactory, the Tectonica Let's Try, that was really interesting. I'll definitely be playing that again. What else? Dososphere Program, I say, 3 playthroughs of that. So yeah, loads of VODs to catch up on if you want to. And the usual Friday Facts videos going up every Friday, where I speculate wildly, read it out, and speculate wildly about what's actually going to happen, going to come up. Always a lot of fun to do. So if you have any interest at all, then it would be great if you could watch those. So I think that's everything. All my self-promo, which always makes me feel a bit weird because I'm not great at doing it. But if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.